Fosama. Right, anyway. Tahan is wrong could be no all. So you really differ. Tahan online. So it's just usually what the dinner to myself. So the switch and shot. My Frank to go Nikon Suler record buttons and do could be. Okay, so capacitor and shot going agus the reached to show G 20 kilo ohm resistor. Okay, so shin ohms from you there's me kind for 50 is a 20 kilo ohm resistor, 40 volts in shot agus the 60 microfarad capacitor in shot. Okay, so kist over the heen or part over the heen. To get it up so when the switch is closed, the current flowing at a particular instant of the circuit shown in figure 20.1 is 0.2 milliamps. So the current I doing so the current flow. Now it is because current flows from plus to minus. So it is the current flow the balance so your image I from your current is equal to doesn't see what's a current question because you image add la current but anyway 0.2 milliamps. So you are really in question if the parts the chapters shall go forward because you would even add let joules law or to be. But anyway, right image for each. Okay. So it is touching with you offset we now to voltage equals current by resistance. Okay, so in formula now we're even add let's go forward. So really you have to cash us these parts of the cash. But anyway, so the current in shin is 0.2 milliamps. So shin 0.2 by 10 to the power of minus 3. So shin milliamps. Okay, with the form resistance, so shin 20 kilo ohms, so shin 20 by 10 to the power of 3. Okay, so task on equal voltage, trasne egg circuit shown tasha egg 4 volts. Okay, now so therefore, then different potential trasne capacitor, so trasne and taller. Okay, so then different potential trasne and taller in us golove kodumla 40 minus 4 volts. Because what the end resistors can the slow and cheese a flow of current to flow of region. So the electrons like a bug and balance. The current to flow all the balance plus to minus because vice the contrast. But anyway, the current to flow all the balance. So the hinge of free resistor slow and she's a current. So it slows it down by 4 volts. So that is the different potential from 40 because of this resistor to 36 volts. Okay. Now so so it is to the potential difference across the capacitor at this instance is 36 volts. Part of the door, the charge on the capacitor at this instance. So to me question charge. So it is when you come you go all C, cosmla Q is given V. Okay, so it is to me so to Q, cosmla CV. Which the cosmla so capacitance and so 60 microfarads, so 6 by 10 to the power of minus 6. Medifa, the voltage, which is 36 volts. Question is down the calculator, I gives you to 2.16 by 10 to the power of minus 3 coulombs. Okay. So she locked in us at a capacitor. Okay. Like a part journal, the work done in placing a 2 microcoulomb on the capacitor. Okay, so it is by placing a 2 microcoulomb on the capacitor. So part of it is 3. So upper jante. Then upper jante golve kodumla and funny at a storage. A capacitor. Okay, so it is when you come the work done is the energy stored. So cost and sample bagage even there's a hookland G battery charged in the capacitor. Now because the volts in churn is hookland just capacitor charged in the capacitor. So now because the resistors the slowly and she's the voltage, so adding some voltage from 40 to 36 volts. So you know the capacitor and for the honey. Now it is Chafitase goal upper jante kodumla le I guess it can show it's Q squared is can C. Okay. So MV squared usually is image, but it is to V quadrum Q is can see agus the squared so he can swap al heart. Agus it is to shin quadrum la. So it is to mid fall 0.5 so the made if Q squared. So we're replacing a 2 microcoulomb charge. So 2 by 10 to the power of -6 squared. Shan by a capacitance of 60 by 10 to the power of -6. Okay. Agus it is shin figure doing that 3.33 by 10 to the power of -8 joules. So sin mid funny at the call TDI. Okay, so sin an upper the jante na chormid 2 microcoulomb on the capacitor. And then you okay listen? Yep. Rokesh be Allenson, which again our page I think run the he inguji doye were straightforward enough. Well, I had no killer. He inguji doye we.
Yeah, they're all right.
Yeah. Right, that's okay. Okay. So shin midrail is a chapter shin. So shin a chapter or shin a chapter potential difference agus capacitance. So here chapter shin national current and charge. So really I find kiss journal shin before than chapter 21 of it going. She'll roll me kiss every carj because the go the the kind for the current and a in the letter I. Okay, so just go your man PowerPoint div making a share screen. I can tell what's going so just a second away. I guess it's your man PowerPoint. I guess to make your chapter 21. So share screen. Right, so I had add this through agus leictreachas, chapter 21. Yeah. Okay. So at least just try mid fridge get the book that show and so at least shed rod na kujirut through. Just in show more. Agus zero through leictreachas. Okay, so cad is through leictreachas. So it is through leictreachas. What is an electric current? So through leictreachas extrabu is a through locked leictreachas extrabu. So it's the flow of electric charge shin through leictreachas. So circuit atogter Connor Trina Straben and locked leictreachas. So it's called a circuit. So that's go like zero circuit. Okay, so make this a constant circuit showing short to janta these jantas these lab big day right. So we battery occurs and shan we compass and charlotte cheshman goal magnetic interference there's the as it's called a magnetic effect. It has a seeing Charles Kermit rubber as acid freezing to make it a better conductor. So lay in and shelter rubber in sphere which I get sulfura freeze. Reach into gold current able to flow all freeze a good conductor. So you see ground the sphere except for electrical wires like gentle like copper reach because that's the best down for electrical conductors. It is right a free balgan to add and filament is this a balgan velocity. So it is which has their filament is the balgan piece of wire at on. But in electric flow freeze and in current freeze change as well. As no change as well actually let's just chas on flow of electrons to pass off freeze wire change a intin to agus jumping actually in filament jadig la chas. Now obviously stage genu bulbs machine and as like gentle LEDs agus na super LEDs can handy gemon us like up blian. And I'm sure Ganaki have tested American to LEDs to shimmer box the book buoyon. Nakishiv the radiation in the super LEDs. Tishimmer just rub bug bunja, he like a piece of paper of buoy, but no horn to current free loss and just us really ledger. So the Shinikinal to a hundred gata gujishan. It is to switch and show going from tapping to a show he let it ask the loss in bulb. Changing magnetic current against the flow of electrons to called freeze. So the three effects of an electric current. So here can to chas year we're on. So it has a heating effect. So the ceist target a gap punched in circuit a han codges mo I can balgan. So there is a heating effect free just current shot leak, free just strong all the way free, but this goheria I get punching Sean shot being could war strong yal around 30. So branch go near the 30 then coil it is the ends the bulb. So make this is the bulb being usually 30 the coil into equal and therefore changes as white small non strong. So usually being 30 bre ard I get strong Sean shot so do na leincha. I guess now change as at a certain point, but not to the point where as Raisha pure jadig leisha. Now, next you actually Raushan or you call toaster, actually Raushan toaster. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jay I can to Joe.
The wires going side to side, like, and heating up.
Aye, so it is no wires. So it's just like an electric. It's cause a circuit. But just the wires go non-snal, and come back. So in the humber there's a sheet of toaster that actually wrote at the end to just complete the circuit. So in the humber there's a sheet of toaster, you complete the circuit, so the cost of jump on a switch. I guess chain current electric current free extraction and then reality resistivity at extraction. That you're able to choose this, but it doesn't melt. Like 230 volts. That you're able to change this to a certain degree, I guess fun and chai get chashin. Hence, he got the temperature, home person chinner the toaster. You have to cost like grades when you not so toasted, could you dot you. So that means that the current small current or any small through free toaster to hence increase the heat. So shini head can go all effect chas year where or a heating effect like sruth leictreachas. A darnican to effect or year war chemical, so it has a chemical effect. So tarlin emobr chemicals in asker the remer schraben and sruth fridge. Well, then you should do chemistry. Then you don't quite get a
Nope.
No, near then you be right. So agus the no then you acid is just an to ions and shan that helps the currents flow. So it is the ions and shan that can connect, because I connect to the circuit. Now, the Ishke is a poor conductor. So it is a conductor, but it ain't a log. So shen take image I get sulfurous, you have to make it a stronger conductor, and therefore electrical current has a chemical effect. Okay, like you can journal shen and you were magnesia, so magnetic effect. So crew and true range magnesia heart are strong. So training she's the head compass magnesia only nihue. So it deflects the magnetic compass from the north-south position. They're holding to strong trasnan compass and so chain to ancient that I call north easterners pointing north from east Mial or through lectures. We scholar wine or skull couple of Tom my hunt barrister Tonnash actually in Taklische Rudder Runcha na vi blian vi share skull vi shas quick blian. Vi shall get a young scientist project you I guess Tamshin Maru Dinart was in Dunluche. We shall leictreachas it or lorry. Obviously we shall was to go to quarry, not quarry, but water reserve more was in Dunluche was Nakilan Argyle. I guess we shall was to go and shan I guess Hoshas a tapper or a lorry. I guess Welsh and electrical cables. And then for shall I have to mass a lorry, I guess go as for gram or still handle via lorry. Obviously been lorry live and because Welsh and the 40,000 volt cables, I guess Marua he was electrocuted. So Hannig Lacha Nice smoocher an idea that all electrical lines have a magnetic field of deflection and magnetism in the wire. So for designers a device for your young scientists so the chocolate horror lorries. So there are rahan tappers so as enact so the yochan nakilan costly electrical cables with deflection in the magnetic field. I guess we magnetic field shin Ableton shin we shin connect to G circuit I get if we able to buzzer how off is this a cab is this a lorry I guess you're able to ensure the lorry driver grosha into cogra da electrical wires. So it was quite a very good experiment. You want to rud be less, but for a highly recommendation. And the chain reason now want you because you're able to electronics around a venue and an experiment. For could you learn electronics engineer in current sport. Agus just you're able to a circuit of gigantic and you're venue done engineer hannig má leker rod agus the mo in a venue I take a money prize my fun young scientists, but just rod just to do lock idea done magnetic field, the effect of magnetic field of electric current. I guess we should able to apply it to run into usage at the lorry drivers. Okay, so just run punch it all this and so card if I can quick one right. So so card a shelter lecture. So re shelter lecture shelter a doctor substance a federally lock lecture shabu fridge. So reis vi majadishan. So anime ke shelter lecture. So reis the aggregate copper aluminium on the metal at a steamer shelter degree. The eske carbon denye agus an talu on the shelter faster. Ke go leske rubber glog, but a reis tesha on the conductor. Okay. Actually, how lecture. So reis have to lay more cables and the hand to cables when you run the be while you're on the beach have to insulation harteru. So she run the hermage actually hurry. So the more current flow free copper wire. Obviously, do you grammar coppers into the goal electrocuted or youth in shock, or synity current rubber plastic harter wire. So current rubber. So in the ruddy actually harder talk their subs not federally locks lecture shabu fridge. Exhibition glonye plastic the kinal be rubber agus air on the enchla hurry lecture. Okay, so restart hard to good normally should be a relayed truer acquisition make the knees or pepper screw. Now usually we should usually cash grey level which are always from your hard level. Now a restart going leak structure in adu. So to get down the jant to the adu. The part learner got added the animal nucleus on the wall kahini protein. Now to the electron on the kahini take fish heart nucleus. So shown the electrons produce an electric current. So the electrons stable the bugu. So 10 electrons hike the proton agus adding the electrons so adding proton as we see Jantkins in chapters journal. Okay. Now lock jevna agus lock julta. So make this a positive agus negative charge. You're going an electric current. So talk the force electrostataha or in the force agus ata in the proton agus an electron. Now jerta gol kahini a chorin force electrostatic veim or kelle lochti go electra agus jerta gol electron lochti go julta agus jerta gol proton lochti go jevna or jara farmerjira. Okay, so it is positive charge, so electron, negative charge, protons are the positive charge. Now, so lecture in shelter lecture. So an electric current in a conductor flowing through a conductor. So srabu electron is a sruth lecture is shelter method. So so the flow of electrons is the actual electric current in a conductor or a metal conductor. Okay. Now, so can in it SIT through lecture. So an electric current no Jeremy Coulomb. Okay, so at least we have an electric current of charged in Coulomb and Chin. Okay, agus Kati and Gil either through agus unlocked. So as a through and made locked evolution higher puncher be in shorters a second. So the current now so the electric charge is in coulombs. So the charge is measured in coulombs. The current, so Shin is through, is measured in amps. It's the amount of charge in hard punches a second. Okay, we should solve it again. Yeah. So it is just be intercurrent. So a locked lecture, so electric charge Shin is measured in coulombs. So that's the charge. So costing cash journal or imagine cash charge a 2 microcoulomb charge or trasna and 60 microfarad capacitor. So eration is charge, whereas the sruth is the amount of charge that flows past any point on the circuit per second. We can basically wrote the into sruth lecture. Okay. Now to sruth shasta I, so use me capital I for on your sruth for a constant flow of charge. Okay, so the sruth shasta ag shrabúd circuit ar fáutí second, cé méid de lochú a ag dul haar punchbeat in circuit into námsin. So rís an loch dul hart out the circuit Q, cause run choose the current by the amount of time it takes to flow, it flows through the circuit. Okay. Now, cadin init SI the sruth lectra, so the sruth lectra it's an init SI merger amperes, amps imagine John. So Jeff does the cost la infuses. Jigan and you could use fuse. So fuse can da gadget bugaton la piece of wire tras golo T wang gujin T walla. So clagging T wang guji clagging T walla. I guess there's flowing through lectra fridge. To certain amount of ampage merger should to able to make area done locked or done through a lock actually in the wire. So Jeff does in plugs Jeff to go 5 amp fuse, 3 amp fuse. I guess mostly just more than the plugs into the wall. And we're asking to plug be the gadget net usually being 13 amp fuse into the plugsion. So Mahin Rudderby, Mahin is through lecture Rudderby had at 13 amps, then British fuse by get this circuit, I guess stoppage and through a shrabu, because otherwise which I into danchra. Okay, so cadin gil ether ampere, I guess coulomb. So what's the relationship? So 1 amp is equal to 1 coulomb ag dul hart a second. So can you count 1 coulomb fianta more? Okay, so it's usually to charge toasting microcoulombs into big. So it is just because lesson 1 amp is 1 coulomb per second. Okay, now the more stopping in you, I think we'll go large antagon. So a just la imagery la show. Just can you go see new to kid in the base when you mouth over ball of or thief. So from a jamut for the Thomas over ball of the kidney is heart.
Better
I can't remember. But Oshaw Hannickson needs to give meeting the journey. It's just Neil Cad the usual Wednesdays Neil Cad the upper ball of 6 to be or thief. So clean image I guess Lorima level more at reached. Was it okay?
Yeah, that's perfect.
No bother.
Okay. Slide.
I take Morgan.
All right.
All right.